Hello everyone, welcome and thank you for tuning into my channel. I am Jazz Zaimani, and on today's video I will be showing you how to make a small but very sparkly mum/garter. If you want to just get to the point, please forward this video, because before I do that I'd like to give you a little sample of what you could use to substitute the things that I will be using right now. Let's get started. For this mom, I will be using my blue ribbon, and this one is 1 3/8. I'll be using 3 yards of this ribbon. And for this gold one, I'll be using 3 yards as well, but this one is my 1 5/16. And I'll be using this fabric. However, if you do not have this fabric, or if you don't have fabric, period, don't worry, it's okay. You can just use holographic ribbon. I have this one, and it's this one is the 1.5 inch. You can just go ahead and use this, substitute it for this fabric right here. And we will be needing, for this one, which is a 4-inch backer, I'll tell you how I did that. This is a 4-inch backer. You need 24 inches of ribbon. If you want to make something bigger, this is a 5-inch. You need 31 inches. Okay, let's get started, guys. Oh, yes. And garland. Look how sparkly this Christmas garland is, and it is so inexpensive. Oh, and for garters, whenever I have a lot of garters to make and they run out of at the flower shops of the original ones, this is what I like to use, because it's super sparkly, you guys. And I mean, gosh, it's not even that expensive. You can buy it at Walmart. It comes in little rolls like this, and it is very inexpensive. And look how sparkly it looks, like for the girls that like to wear the garters on their leg or their arm, you know, all the movement and everything, all the sparkle all over the place. Anyway, you already saw how I made this, right? I have a video. All you have to do is just go round and round. For this backer, as you can see, I recycled this poster board, and all I used was a 4-inch rim cup to make the 4 inches, and then for the 3, so I see right there how I have the line, so I can make sure that it's aligned to how I want it. I use the back to this. For my bigger backer, the 5-inch, I used yeah, I like to improvise, guys. Okay, this is a 5-inch lid, and for the middle of it, where is that I marked, I just used my 4-inch cup, and there we go. You see, fits perfect, and it's round, looks nice. Don't nobody knows what I used. But of course, if you want to buy your backers, go for it. Okay, let's start putting things together. Oh, and right here, I like to cut this. I measure the back of my first one, and all I do is cut it to the size, and then I start with my yellow, because the school colors for this school are well, gold, which is the yellow, this yellow, and blue. But for my mom's, usually I like to substitute, like the white, I like to substitute it with silver. The gold, I like to substitute it, this gold, I like to substitute it with gold sparkle, or just as long as it's a metallic gold. See how I'm doing this? And it has to be out. Okay. And to give it a kind of like a peekaboo sparkle, I'll be adding this on the back, right in front of the yellow. Okay. Then I just add blue. And see how it's getting volume? That way you don't need that much ribbon, guys, to make it look full from the bottom. Not only are you giving it volume, you're giving it sparkle, because when the child moves or it's windy, the ribbons start moving, and then all of a sudden you can just see like sparkle coming out of the ribbon. I like to staple my ribbon because that way, per se, I messed up. If I mess up, I can always just take it off. And unlike if I hot glue it, then it's kind of hard to get to the, like per se, the yellow one down back here. It's gonna be kind of hard. If I staple it, I can just pull it, and there we go. I can always just change it. See the volume it's getting? The point to all this that I'm doing right now is to cover any gaps. Let me get all this away. See the gaps? That? And over here, you can slightly see a gap. The point of how much ribbon to be adding is to cover the gaps. And by the way, these are 7 of each color, I believe. Look at the volume it's giving it. Huh? Very nice, right? And see how you don't see gaps? You're covering the gaps. So always try to concentrate on covering them. Always, always, always. As you're lining them up, start covering the gap little by little. Alrighty. And then I am going to add some of these to the ends. Some of this to the ends. So these are all 12 inches. So I'll be cutting it at 12. And at the ends, guys, if you're not using a boa, then you always want to go like for something sparkly, so that when it spreads, when the child or a teenager, when the student, let's just get to that. When the student is wearing it, all you can see is all the sparkle on the side. So just when you put it on, make sure you don't leave a gap, like it won't be like that. Make sure it closes close to your other ribbons. See how it's looking? Let me just staple it. Try to always staple like that instead of like that, or standing like this, otherwise your ribbon's going to move all over the place. Okay, now I'm going to use this little braid that I made with these pretty little pinwheels. And if you want to know how to make them, I have a video available. Just look for my DIY pinwheel braid video. And I had glued this. Okay, I'll glue it in a little bit. I'll glue some of this in a little bit. Make like this one. That's how it's looking. See how it's looking? Super sparkly, and I mean, it's because if you stop and think about it, guys, it's the sparkle that calls attention for the moms. A lot of the times, it's not just that it's a big mom. It's the sparkle. I'm going to cut another 12-inch. So that would be 3.5 yards of this blue ribbon, but you can still make it just with a 3. It's just that I got carried away. I just love how it's starting to look. And on this one, I'm going to put it right at the center. Right at the center. Right there. See? Okay. And then I'm going to cut another piece of the holographic. I'll cut 12 inches. So that makes it 12, that's 48 inches of holographic ribbon that you'll be using, unless you're going to use this holographic for the backer as well. Then you would need 48 plus 31, that would be 79 inches. Look how pretty it's looking. So all the sparkle. And see how the garland, you can't see it unless it moves. You'll be able to see the little peekaboo little thingy. Look, I'm going to show you what I mean when I say I like to staple. I'm seeing that once I add the name here, since I'm adding the holographic right here, there's going to be a very small little space. So see, you just pull it and that's it. Better than hot gluing it. There we go. I just added right there. And right there. Now I can add this one. This is where the name is going to be. Now, I already have the name. These are, the size for these are, hang on, it's These are 3.5 inches. The ribbon, I cut it at 3.5 inches, and I just went ahead and folded it, and I added some hot glue. Okay. Where's my E? Can't find my E. Okay, well, I can't find my E, but okay, what I like to do is I like to hot glue it. And I'll leave the space there for the E so I can add it when as soon as I find it. Gosh, I can't believe I can't find it. It was right here. Oh, here it is. There we go. And by the way, this is I use these when I don't have time to make cutouts, or when I just feel like using them because they're beautiful. I get the whole sheet at La Amistad. If you're, I think there's one in San Antonio as well. It recently opened, and there's one in McAllen. So go ahead and just buy the sheet, guys. It's super cheap. And these letters sparkle a whole bunch. Okay, there we go. See how it's looking? Okay, there we go. Okay, and I have, sorry, I have some extra pinwheels that I made for this specially. There we go. See how pretty it is looking? And it didn't even require a lot of money, guys, because if you stop and think about it, it's let's say 4 yards of each ribbon. I mean, 4 times 3, what is it, 24? No, 4 times 3 is 12. It's 12 yards. 12 yards of ribbon. And for these, you really don't need much, because that would be 6, and that's, well, we'll do the math later, but it is very inexpensive to do this. Alrighty. Okay, so you guys notice that I leave this like that? Well, I leave it on purpose. Don't think that I always do it like that. It's because, well, I will be setting it right here, so there's no I mean, you won't be able to see it since it's going to be under the flower, and I'm going to be decorating the bottom part. And also I like to leave it like this, because once I do this, I like to add bows or something over here, so I don't close this part, or I like to add sparkle all the way up here, so I always leave it like that. Okay, so once I have it there, once I know that's how it's going to stay, I go ahead and, okay, add the glue. Oh, chucks. I didn't let the pinwheel dry. Okay. There we go. Ouch. Ouch, this is hot. Making sure it glues. Now I'm going to turn it around. Double press on it. Look how pretty it's looking. Okay, and now I'm going to use my Christmas garland. See how it covers that part. Christmas garland gets flat on one side, so go ahead and put it on flat. You can also hot glue it. Let's hot glue it because it's giving me a hard time right now. Hot glue it as close to over here as possible because we don't want to get too much garland in the middle. I don't like to get too much things in the middle for the reason that then my flower won't stick. I like to make hurricane proof flowers, and if hurricane proof mums that's what I call them, because they won't fall apart. You really need to. Let's give this pinwheel some extra time too. Some good amount of time to dry, because I haven't let it dry too well. But look how pretty this is looking. So sparkly, right? Okay, this is a 4.5 inch flower. Okay. Fix it down as much as possible because we don't want it overtaking our backer. Remember to leave a good space where the flower can get glued. Try it on. How's that? Huh? Very nice. Let me I want to show you something real quick before we put this together. See how this looks very, very sparkly and so on. Okay, if you were to add this 5-inch backer, it would make not only the mum look bigger, but it would give it an extra sparkle. If you were to add these, it makes the mum look a whole lot fuller. But I'm going to make this one like this simple because I want to show you how easy it is to turn a simple mum into something that looks full. Very good, right? Okay. And oh, and by the way, your flowers, please make sure you put you add what is it called, pipe cleaner, wire, whatever, so that it can keep your mum together. Otherwise it's going to end up falling apart. So I like to put in my pipe cleaner, and then at the top I just tie a knot and hot glue it, or sometimes I'll add some, like 2 of these little pearl thingies. I just cut and then tie it to it. All right, once we've decided that how we're gonna leave the back, that will be our backer, we're going to make the backer for which is where, and oh, sorry, you couldn't see. There we go. There we go. Alrighty, so now I'm going to cut about 7 inches of this. Maybe I'll make it 8. Depending on if the student is thin or has big arms like me, then you make it either smaller or bigger. But this stretches, so keep that in mind. I'm going to turn this around. To add some glue right there where I will be adding my hold it. And it's stable to reinforce it. And remember how I told you it was going to be a mum/garter? We can get a little piece of yellow. I like using the neck straps, but in this case I'm just going to do it this way. There we go. Make sure everything's going to fit. And do the top part first. Press on it to make sure that it's holding. And then there we go. Okay, so you know how I said about this being so simple? Oh, it's about to change. Okay, now I'm going to add a whole bunch of glue right here in the middle to make sure that this flower stays. If it don't hold where the garland is, it's gonna hold in the middle because I left some space there. Okay. Now, to make the top part sparkle, we put this one in the middle. You know what? I'm going to put it on this side because I recycled this flower, as you can tell. That's why it didn't have the green part to it, the back part, because I had to really tear this flower to be able to take it apart. Okay, so right there. See how sparkly it's starting to look. Okay, and I'll fix this one. This is Christmas garland as well, and this one too. You can buy it at La Amistad, and if you can find the holographic, buy it all because it looks better in holographic. It gives the mum a whole lot of sparkle. And you can just fix it some. See how it's looking fuller? And we're really not using many trinkets. I mean, look, if you were to make these wheels out of just regular ribbon, I mean, you don't need much. And there we go. Now I'm going to add the word homecoming. So if this little girl can't wear a big mum, she sure is going to be wearing a small, super sparkly one because this mum is going to sparkle. A lot of the times, guys, I've been that kid that, what is it? I know how it feels to